Good morning, friends. I want you to know I just love this time with you. And I love my sherry coffee. And I love my jelly cookie. And I love, you know, people treat the word love as a four-letter word when it really isn't. The idea of loving something is to have a deep emotional attachment. And when we think about love, especially as believers, there should be something pure and something holy attached to it. It is not simply lust uncovering. It's got to be more than just that. Okay? But let me go ahead and start this morning and thanking Sherry for the coffee and Bob and Jay Lee for the world famous cookies. If you haven't tried one of these cookies, you ought to send me a note and I'll send you the recipe. 3, 2, 1. Now, the difference, however, is though I have the recipe, I don't make these cookies. Only Bob and Jay Lee make these cookies for me. But I have tried a couple of people's cookies who were made from that recipe. And you know what? They're real Jay Lee cookies. They're the real deal. But don't deviate. If you deviate, then it becomes a new generation of cookie. All right? So here we are. Love is a word that's oftentimes overly used. I watch TV on occasion, and I used to watch certain, like police shows and such. It was interesting that every week the good guy wound up with a new girl. Man, what can you say? In James Bond, I like James Bond movies, but they always end up the very same way. Always. I mean, the good guy get the bad girl or the good girl. Either way, they always wind up, yes, they do. And so, I'm concerned that our concept of love is based on Hollywood and not on Scripture, and not even on the definition that you find in the dictionary. Let me go ahead and give you a little scripture here after I sip my coffee. Two scriptures. First one comes from Corinthians chapter 13. And listen close. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have the faith that can move mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and surrender my body to the flames, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It is not boastful. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It's not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It's an amazing thing. Because if I use our modern concept of love, the first half of the scripture, people, yeah. But the second half does not describe the love that's being betrayed to us by the outside world. And maybe it's because the outside world doesn't know how to love. Oh, they can get all emotionally involved and tied up until someone says the wrong word or makes a comment. I'm going to tell you, love is complicated without a biblical definition. Now, the second verses I have for you come from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, starting verse 4. To love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your resources. This is the greatest commandment. Yeshua says this is the greatest commandment. But if I look at what the world is portraying, okay, love is nothing but sex to the outside world. Okay, it's how often, how many. It is a corruption of a God-given gift. When you love someone, okay, it's not for the purpose of receiving. It's for the purpose of giving. So, ladies, please listen closely. But the guy says, but if you love me, now they want proof. And oftentimes very proof that you don't want to give because it's not the right time or the right place or the right person. So when you hear, if you love me, you would, come on, let's be real. Let's be real. If you loved me, you wouldn't ask. And you wouldn't try to take it either. The world is full of this misconception. And we often use the term inappropriately. I love my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I love my bacon and egg breakfast. I love my this. I love my that. And by the way, that's turkey bacon. Okay? I love this. Come on. I like my sandwiches. I like my breakfast. I like my PBJs. Okay? I don't have to use the word love. Why? Because it's inappropriate. I am not emotionally attached to peanut butter and jelly. I'm not emotionally attached to this or that. I'm going to tell you what, I am emotionally attached to this program. I am. Because I get a chance to be honest and frank. Even though my name's Rabbi Michael, I can be frank. Come on, that's humor. Work with me. So anyway, as I'm looking at love, I'm looking at something I am really deeply attached to. I love the Lord my God. I love Yeshua. And that's using the term properly. Now, in the Greek language, there's several different words you can use for love. And I don't know, we in English-speaking world, we want to just pile it all on top of one word. There's philos, which means a brotherly love, a closeness, a good friend love. You know, I have a few people I have this deep friendship love with. Okay? It can be a man or it can be a woman. Be careful with the woman thing, though. Okay? But the idea of having a deep, close relationship. Not an eros, that's our second word, where the word erotic comes from, and that is smut. Okay? That is a relationship that's not based on emotion, but on hormones, for the most part. Now, there's agape, that's our third form we're going to talk about today, is a love that comes from God, by God, through God, and from God within us. Imagine for a moment you're married. I am. I'm not imagining, I'm knowing. Agape has to be the dominant love in the relationship. And blessed is the man who has agape, philos, and eros all rolled up in the same partner. That, my friends, is perfection. However, let's go back to the misperfection, the abuse of the word. To love is to be godly. To love is to have no self-seeking. Let me point out to you once again from the text here, and it says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. Now, if you have a spouse, or even a child, or a friend, okay, real love, agape, with your friends, philos, you have a deep relationship with a friend. And that type of love is ever forgiving, ever caring, always elevating the other person to a highest apex possible. So, this morning, love one another as he has loved you. That's it. You're not going to love the whole world. I'm just going to be honest with you. No, I wish my heart was big enough to do that, but it really isn't. And I know it. So I can't pretend. If a person has a good spouse and 3 good friends, they're richer than most people. You might have 20 or 30 contacts. That's a nice computer term. Or you might have 20 or 30 parishioners for rabbis and priests and pastors. Okay? You might have people that you can put a certain small measure of trust. Okay? But the deep stuff is always accompanied by the agape. Every deep relationship is agape formed. Everyone. Everyone. So, today, once again, pay attention to those whom you say you love. Because unfortunately, this has been a historical fact I've found, that we have a tendency to be unloving to the people who are closest to us. And we're unloving because we know we can get away with it. That's right. I'm counting the fact that they're going to love me even when I'm a mess up. So anyway, no wake up tonight. No wake up until we return on September 4th under a new format, a whole new programming style. Hopefully you're going to find it exciting. I'm really excited to do it. So, no wake up until September 4th. All right? And, yes, if it pleases the Lord, I'll be here tomorrow. But after that, it might be pretty sketchy because I am leaving Saturday morning early for my trip. I'm looking forward to the trip. I'm also really looking forward to more time listening, less time talking. All right? And I appreciate the notes of people saying they're praying for me. Please do. I'm a mess, and I do need prayer. And you know what? I'm just not going to hide it. I'm a mess. I'm human, okay? But I also have a desire to serve the Lord, just like you do. So, anyway, with all this said and done, I'm going to even give you the blessing. But before that, please hit the buttons. Okay? We want our IT guy to be working while I'm off in Alaska to figure out how we're going to jump to these 2 new platforms. Okay? Been talking about this forever. Now it's time to do it. Okay? So now, may the Lord bless you and keep you and cause his face shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious unto you and lift up his countenance to you. May he give you peace. And if it pleases him, we will see you tomorrow for Ask the Rabbi Friday.